Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and I'm gonna try my best to cut this down some more because so far I'm up to almost an hour, and I'm really trying to get better. But the fact that so much stuff happened at this function and leading up to this function, I gotta figure out how I can incorporate it without going over. So anyway, let me try to tell y'all without going over 30 minutes. Okay. I ain't doing it no more after this. Whatever happened this time, this is what it's gonna be. So, y'all know Saturday I went to a function, and the function consisted of a lot of like funk and soul music and all that good stuff, right? So I got there and I was gonna be there for 8.5 hours. I had already planned it out. I didn't care what was gonna happen. I wanted to see everything that was gonna happen. My plan was not going to consist of me eating, so I brought me some frozen bottles of water and I drank on them throughout the entire time. That's all I had was 2 bottles of water. 2 bottles of spring water. That's all I had. My friend had gotten her something to eat when she got there. All of that. Got her some beer. Like she did a lot. And I ain't do nothing. I did good. They had margaritas. They had good vendors out there. The food was smelling good. All the beverages everybody walked by with that I actually would participate and drink looked good. I'm talking about the margaritas look so good. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I told myself, don't do it. No. So I went 8.5 hours plus because I didn't eat before I got there either. I didn't eat breakfast. So I went at least 12 hours without eating, which is normal for me. But all I had was 2 bottles of water and it was hot out there. And yeah. So anyway, I made a point to get down there early because I wanted to get parking. I didn't want to have to go to a whole nother street and all this other stuff because I'm by myself. I'm by myself. I was anticipating possibly just going by myself anyway and not having anybody to even meet up with me. But my friend at the last minute, she ended up being able to go. And so she told me in enough time so that I could get her ticket for her. The point of that was it was a part of her birthday gift. So that's why I did indeed get a ticket for her. Um, I feel like she didn't really care about it like that. And if she was going to go somewhere, she'd rather just go to that versus just being at the house doing nothing or just sleeping all day, which is what she probably would have done. So anyway, I got down there 45 minutes before it was time for the gates to open. And I wanted to get down there at least an hour before, but it was okay because I still found a great parking space. Y'all, I took my Novell Nouveau down there and I wanted to put it on my edges, right? When I tell y'all, I keep trying to tell y'all nothing works for me. Nothing. I put this stuff on my edges. My hair was parted differently. It was parted on this side, and I had this slicked down and all this or whatever. Had the AC on the entire 45 minutes before I got out of my car, blasting as high as it could go. Child, please. It's like my edges knew I was gonna cut the car off, and I hadn't even turned the air off yet. And I looked in the mirror. I said, "I'd be doggone." I'm talking about. I had a whole like right here. It did exactly what it's doing right here. I don't know if y'all can see it or not. It turned into a whole finger coil right here. I was like, whatever. I already know because don't none of these products lay no hair down on my head, and my hair is the loosest right up here. So I was just like, that's speaking volumes. I'm just saying. Anyway, I still love this product. I'm just saying it don't lay nothing down on my head. So yeah. And I got out the car. I ended up taking a folding chair down there because I didn't have, well, I did. I have two over there actually of the little camping chairs that people take to festivals and stuff, but I don't trust them. I trusted the ones that I had back home because I used to go to festivals all the time back home, but I hadn't been in forever. And when I left home, I didn't take them with me. So yeah, I actually have some that I'm going to purchase so that the next time I'll be ready and I'll be able to do what I want to do versus having to take a folding chair. I want one I could just sling on my shoulder and not have to carry one in my actual arm. So anyway, I got out the car. I'm walking down the sidewalk. I'm upset before I even get to the gate because why y'all got sand on the sidewalk? Ain't no beach over here. It's just ignorant stuff they do here. So I'm already mad. I'm like, golly, it's hot. and my feet look good. I done greased, that's what I want to say. I done greased my feet up so they ain't ashy, and now I got all the sand on my feet. So even after all that, they didn't look too bad. So I was like, okay. So, I did dust my feet off when I got to where I was going to, put my seat down. I don't like places. If it's not a beach, I don't see the point. If it's not a beach, what is the point of this sand being here on a sidewalk where people are riding bikes up and down this? So anyway, child, I done went inside the gate. They done put my little 21 or older wristband on my arm, all of that, cool. I got my stuff ready to show them my digital receipt, my digital ticket or whatever. They ain't even checking our ticket. I'm like, y'all done went off. I could have just walked up in here. I could have saved my little money the way y'all acting. Like, I'm talking about they didn't even attempt to even halfway act like they were the slightest bit interested in seeing my ticket. Like, child. So anyway, whatever. So I was like, cool, whatever. Before I even went in, somebody that I used to work with, she saw me and she stopped me. And so I talked to her like 30, 45 minutes. So I'm like, all right now. All right. So, I mean, it didn't matter because I think the first hour they were just going to be playing music. So they had 2 or 3 random DJs, one of which was a woman and she was the main DJ. So she was playing all these dope songs. We kept looking at the people that was dancing. I'm talking about they had like girls trips type of situations where a lot of these women were all together and dancing down. I was here for it. They were a whole vibe. So anyway, when I got inside, I sat up where I wanted to sit because I wanted to sit directly in front of where the stage was going to be at so I could have a clear view and all of that. Cool. And I'm saving enough room so that my friend and her mom can sit next to me. So didn't really have no issues with people trying to, set up shop next to me like that. So that was good. Everything was a vibe. Okay. So then they start having acts to come on. And the acts that were coming on initially were like people who were from the DMV, random people or whatever, right? The first dude, he was all right. He was a rapper, and I was like, okay. I wouldn't have bought his stuff, but I mean, he was okay. The second dude, now I would actually pay to see him. I might actually put a little clip of him, and it might not even be the best because I was getting my entire life. I was like, wait a minute. He had older people. He had the older people even like set it off. We was like, wait a minute now. This is, the words and everything. It was everything. So he was good. And then they had another one. There was a third dude. Now, I feel like he could sing, but the fact that he had every single thing I think he did 3 tracks. He had the full-blown track blasting, and he was trying to sing over the track. Now, either you can do it right or you can't do it that well. And he was on the spectrum of not being able to do that well. And it just turned me off. I was upset. My friend was texting me trying to figure out, if I'm enjoying myself. Because at that time, I'm there only by myself, which is fine. And so I was like, yeah, I'm cool. But this dude up here, and I wish that he would hurry up because he is boring me. Like, it's annoying me. I don't know what it was. It was just something about him singing over that track instead of him just singing and just having music. Like, because he actually could, that's the dumb part, he actually could sing. And it was just the way that the track was. And then him singing some kind of way, it annoyed me so bad. I was like, oh my gosh, I wish his set would hurry up and be over with. So when his set was over with, like in between each person, they would have the band, well, not the band, the DJ, whichever DJ to come in, and we'd be getting our entire life. Like, okay, then. Y'all, it was a vibe every single time. So the fact that I even lived for the DJing, it speaks volumes. Because sometimes I just be like, come on now, I'm here to see these acts. No, I got my entire life. So anyway, now the next act after this, I was confused because the MC got up there. He was like, hey, y'all, we got some people who came all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, and she is working through the affiliate radio station down there. I was like, what? And he is announcing this person like they're an artist. I'm like, what are you talking about? And we know, y'all know Young Jock work down there. I'm not thinking of him because he's talking about she. And I'm like, who is you talking about? And then he said international artist, I'm like, who are you talking about, sir? He was talking about, if y'all remember the song that Sean Paul did, I'm Still in Love with You, or whatever it was. Um, I'm still in love with you, boy. Yeah, the woman that was singing on that, and that was in the music video, her. So I was confused because when he announced her, he said her name is Shasha. So I was like, who is Shasha? So then when she announced who she was after he got off the stage, she announced herself and referred to herself as Shasha as well. And I'm like, well, so Sean Paul has a whole accent out here that is very real. And he called you Sasha. Like, did you reinvent yourself and now you just go by the stage name Shasha? Like, I don't know. I was confused. But anyway, she ended up playing a couple of seconds of that. So we were all like, oh, okay. Like, we was getting our life, and then they cut the song off. So she ended up playing what she wanted to play. And that song was long, and everybody knew it. And I think it goes like this. Oh, nah, nah. I don't know. It was kind of like a downer for me, but I think I heard the song before. But anyway, I was like, girl, oh no. It wasn't the worst performance I ever saw in my life, but I was like, I could have did without seeing it. She kept trying to get women that look like me to get up. She said, where are all my big body women at and all this other stuff. Girl, I ain't got nothing to say. I ain't getting up. I'm not getting up for this. No. So anyway, like, she was dancing. She looks good. It just didn't give exactly what it was supposed to give. So I ain't mad at it, but I was just like, she probably was just like, look, the check cleared. I don't care about y'all not participating and whatever. So yeah. So then after that, this is when they start to actually bring out the bigger names. So I was kind of feeling some type of way, but I was like, oh, okay. Because I was wondering how the lineup was going to really go. So then they next bring out Melissa Morgan, or is it Mylisa? I've heard people call her Mylisa. So I don't know if it's Melissa Morgan or is it Mylisa or is it pronounced something else. They said her name about 5 different ways at the place. So I'm like, what is her name? How you pronounce her first name? So anyway, she is the woman who did the song Love Changes. And yeah, she do all kinds of great songs. And she did perform that particular song. And the other song was, I'm gonna have to look it up. Melissa Morgan. Do me, baby, like you never done before. Her. So, yeah. She did those songs, and she did, wait a minute, which song was it? Do You Still Love Me? Or did she do, I'm trying to remember what the name of the song was. But anyway, the time that she actually got off the stage, she did a lot of crowd participation, which was awesome. I think it was called Still in Love with You is what she did. And, or Do You Still Love Me? One of those two. So that's what she did, the crowd participation. She was singing, and then she got off the stage and came out there into the crowd with us. Like, she was up in, like, right there. Like, I'm right here, and she was right here. I was like, ma'am. Like I really could have went up to her and we would have been dancing and up on each other, hugging and everything. Like, she really was deep off into it. The woman still can sing down. She still looked good. The vocals are all the way up there, like 10 out of 10 for me. Like, she really set it off, and I was here for it. I got a little clip of that I'm going to try to incorporate. Hopefully, there won't be any issues with anybody trying to say copywriting or whatever. I don't know. I don't want no copyright situations going on, because I want y'all to see, what I was enjoying. So then, next up, who I actually wanted to come and see, that's who was introduced. And so I was kind of like, why are they coming out here so early? To me, they should have been like last. To me, you say the best for last. or I wanted him to be at least second. I thought he was going to be second to last or dead last, right? And what I'm referring to and who I'm referring to is Lakeside. Now, I don't know how many of y'all know about Lakeside, but I live for Lakeside. I live for Lakeside, okay? Lakeside is a funk group that came out in like what, the 70s, I guess. And their biggest hit to date, in my opinion, is Fantastic Voyage. They did perform that. They performed another big hit of theirs, which is called Raid. I'm very disappointed because there were several songs that could have been performed, but they didn't perform them. But I got to tell y'all a story, and I'm going to try to keep it brief yet again. I'm doing good so far because, like I told y'all before, I had gotten up to like, it was about to be an hour. So I saw the unsung of Lakeside. That unsung made me very, very sad because, like I said, I live for this group. It had gotten to a point where some stuff happened with label changes and they had gotten dropped from labels, and it was just a lot going on. So, along with the fact of they had gained fame, they had done well, and y'all know what a lot of these music groups, when they do well and people see you doing well, they want to party with you. You get a lot of sex, you pull in the women, you're doing drugs. That's what they had going on. But with them, they felt like, okay, we got all this money coming in. As long as we keep an eye on each other and rein each other in, because we all know we got a job to do at the end of the day, it's cool. You grown, do what you do, but we still got to make this money after this party over with. All this partying and drinking and drugging and all of that. One of the members in particular, he had a drug habit really, really bad. He was freebasing. And at the time, the only drug rehabilitation situation that was even available was like Betty Ford. And Betty Ford did not specialize in nothing dealing with freebase. They didn't know what to do for him. And ultimately, even though he had gone into rehab like 2 times, he had to kind of get out of it on his own and to detox himself and to free himself from his drug addiction. So he is not on drugs anymore. Thank the Lord. Okay, it is what it is. So one of the other members, he became a minister because he felt like the Lord called him to do something else. So that's what he did. Another one of the group members, I think his name is Otis. There was so many creative differences that it got to a point where he felt like we all reaching for something and it's completely different and I ain't here for it. It had gotten to a point where they would sit up there, and as the management and, you know, the labels, I guess you could say, were changing hands, it was to the point where they were like, okay, this is the sound that's out right now. We want y'all to follow this sound, which ain't Lakeside. And it's paying the bills, and yes, it's charting, but we want you to do this. And it's not Lakeside. And I'm just like, child, don't nobody have time for this. So that was a part of the reason why I think his name was Otis left, because of that. Because it's like, I'm not even into this. Yeah, the money's great. We charted. Like, they charted with one of their songs, one of their albums that they put out. The song did well, and it charted above 10. I think it charted at like 7. And it just didn't sound like a Lakeside song. And so they actually ended up flopping one of their albums really, really bad. Well, it didn't even chart. Nobody cared about it. And then I think that's when Fantastic Voyage came out. They went in another direction, and then somehow they were able to dig themselves back out of the hole, and they were back on top again. Like, it was to the point where when that song came out, Michael Jackson was like at the top of the game. The Gap Band was up there. Like, everybody and their mama, who was everything in that realm, was up there. They surpassed Michael Jackson, and they were in the number 1 spot. They charted number 1, right above Michael Jackson for a while because of Fantastic Voyage. So yeah, they were doing well. Now keep in mind, it's like 9 people in this group, 9 people in this group. So you gotta split all this money amongst all these people. Even though they getting good money, it's just the fact that it's all these people. And you have a few people within the group who actually are writing. So they're getting bigger checks than everybody else because they're writing and they're performing. There were people within the group who knew how to do choreography and they were creating it. Okay, that's fine too. But I'm just saying, everybody did their part. There were people who were awesome at what they did. But I mean, people didn't feel like it was fair. And I'm like, but you, in my mind, I'm just like, but you didn't write the songs. So how you gonna sit up there and get mad when your group may get more money than you? And you know y'all splitting it all amongst the 8 of y'all, the 9 of y'all. Like, what you thought? Anyway, so when I was watching the Unsung episode, one person in particular kept sticking out to me. And I feel like because of what I saw this weekend, that was the main reason why. His name is Stephen Shockley. And when he was on this episode, he was talking about how he didn't understand how Mark, who is deemed to be the David Ruffin, to have that type of a voice. His voice was that of like a David Ruffin of the group. Like, everybody lived that, like, his voice was everything. Everybody, if you hear him, you know it's him without a shadow of a doubt. So yeah, everybody just felt like he started disassociating himself from the group. In his mind, he was like, I didn't disassociate myself from the group. I elevated. I tried to grow within the group. It didn't work. It was what it was. All this stuff was going on with the labels. They kept getting dropped. People didn't want to drop them. They lived for the group. They saw the vision for the group. It had got to the point where I think, is his name Dick Gregory? I'm probably saying it wrong. I think it was Dick. I don't forgot what the man. I'm probably saying it wrong. Anyway, somebody on like one of their last labels that had them, he had them, and then he ended up having to drop them because they weren't doing well, and he brought them back after the fact. But then the album was trash again, so it's like he had no choice but to drop him again. I don't know why I can't. I think that is not Dick Gregory. I just something. I forgot what his name is. Dick something or something like that, child. I can't remember. But anyway, it really hurt him because it was a situation where he really went up for Lakeside, and there were just too many things that were out of his control that were happening, like with the label itself and the group members. So the group members started falling apart. I'm like, how y'all together for 20 years, doing this same stuff for 20 years, doing exceptionally well, and then instead of just sticking together when times are rough and trying to put y'all heads together and figure out what y'all can do, it just starts going awry. So because the sound of music started changing, you getting like the LL Cool J's of the world, you getting Prince, you getting like Kool Moe Dee, you getting all kinds of stuff like that coming in now. They had that what is that music called? Oh my gosh, not swing. I can't even think of the word, y'all. Anyway, I just had it. New Jack Swing. It was a New Jack Swing era that was coming in. And then what LL Cool J was doing, that type of like hip hop was coming in. So now it's like, what are y'all gonna do? And then they had somebody who was like working behind Prince. It's like a bass guitarist or something like that. They had him come in at some point and do an album for them, and it charted like at number 7. It charted, but it was nothing like Lakeside. And like I said, this man named Otis, I think, I don't remember if I said that in the old one or in this one. Anyway, it was a man named Otis, if I'm not mistaken. That was a group member. And he ended up leaving because of the creative differences that kept happening. Because it's like, yeah, it's charted, but it's not Lakeside. So, you know, the vision that he saw for the group, it wasn't happening anymore. So it was like just staying in an unhappy situation, just hoping that it's going to change when everybody is reaching for something completely different. So anyway, Stephen and the other Lakeside members outside of Mark Wood, they were going out touring. It was just to the point where Mark Wood was not dealing with them. And so it was like, well, you ain't gonna deal with us. We trying to make money. Wasn't no money coming in. They ain't had no gigs coming in. And Mark, I guess, saw an opportunity and he went for it. And now he owns the proprietorship. He has the sole proprietorship and all of that. He owns the name of Lakeside. Like, it had got to a point where he had sent them something saying you cannot perform as Lakeside, and they looking crazy like, what you mean? Like, this is my legacy. You telling me I can't even do what I'm supposed to do? Other group members were on the show talking about, I got 2 kids. I had to go out and get a real job to provide for my kids because we ain't had no work coming in. And then when that happened, you stopping our money? Like, I got family to feed. What is you talking about? So in my mind, I feel like Mark was getting a little bit of karma because he had went and did this, and then he couldn't really get no work like that either because wasn't nobody really living for the type of music that they was putting out no more until some radio station announced that they were going to start putting on old school music. So this where old school came into play. And after that happened, they were in high demand again. So now they were back working. But the problem came into play where Lakeside had 2 Lakesides. One was called the original Lakeside, which was comprised of all members outside of the ones who left for their own respective reasons, and Mark. They all were together. But Mark had his own, which was just Lakeside, and they would be performing like Mark would be right here, and then the original Lakeside will be in like a neighboring city or a couple of cities away, performing as Lakeside as well. But they were going under the name of the original Lakeside. He is doing Lakeside like he did when he came here. So I think that's actually what's happening still, because when I went and looked at a ticket earlier of some performances, they got somebody, I think like the next performance is going to be like in Louisiana, and he's going to be performing, well, the original Lakeside, they're going to be performing with Rolls Royce. I can't pronounce them folks. I forgot. And like people that I live for. I live for I don't know why the Bar-Kays. The Bar-Kays gonna be there. Oh my gosh, I live for the Bar-Kays. So I'm just like, I'm confused. Cause when they came out, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I kept saying to myself, okay, which one is it gonna be? Like, is it going to be the original Lakeside or is it going to be Lakeside? So when they came out, I saw Mark. So I said, oh, let me look at these other people. All these people look random except one other person. And I was confused because I was like, wait a minute. I saw the Lakeside unsung. But this man that's on the end who looks basically like a backup dancer, a background singer rather, he looked like Stephen Shockley, who is basically the one who is heading up the original Lakeside. Okay, hopefully y'all are keeping up. So this whole time I keep looking at this man like, dang, that look like him. But I'm like, no, it can't be. It can't be him. It can't be him. But then I keep saying to myself, that man looks just like him. And I know that in the Unsung episode, he was upset because at one point in time, Mark had it where he had people up there that were basically looking like them, and he was just paying them like a couple of $100, and he was pocketing all the rest of the money because they would get up there, sing and do the drums and play all these other instruments while he would sing, essentially, or do the majority of the singing. So why I gotta pay y'all all this money? Y'all, the people about to come because of the name Lakeside. So I'm finna get this fat check, and I'm gonna get him a couple of pennies, throw them a couple of dollars, and I'm gonna put all this other good money in my pocket. So that's what was going on. Steven, was really upset about it because he's one of the people who actually has written a lot of the songs. He already knew that money was in the songwriting. A lot of the group members were upset, and I just don't understand how you upset with somebody who doing more work than you. They up there singing and dancing right along with you, but they writing the songs too, and you mad that they royalty checks bigger than yours. Come on now, I understand it's 8, 9, or 10 of y'all, but you can't get mad when his check bigger than yours because he doing more work than you. Anyway, so I kept looking at this man. I'm like, that man looked too much like him. So the songs that they sang were Fantastic Voyage, I Want to Hold Your Hand, which I'm just like, why did you sing that? Why didn't you sing another one of y'all songs? But anyway, Raid, I'm glad they sang that song. And it makes sense because that song is mainly Mark's voice. So that's understandable. That makes sense. And he sung another song. And I was like, and it was supposed to be like for the ladies. Wasn't nobody here for it. Like, I hate to say it, but wasn't nobody really here for it. And then my coworker said it was trash. And that's the only group he wanted to see too. So it's like, that's the only reason why he even showed up. He knew somebody that works like at the radio station, and they told him what time they were supposed to go on. And we were all told that, everything was subject to change, which is, common sense, but still. They had it on the ticket so that people wouldn't get upset and be like, oh, well, the lineup said this. No, they have in small print that the lineup is subject to change. Somebody could go on earlier or later, whatever. But for me, I just thought that Lakeside was going to go on second to last or last, because to me that is a big act. Lakeside is everything. I live for Lakeside music. So anyway, the fact that Mark had to turn around and tell the drummer what to do, I was like, You could see the frustration. He was facing the crowd at first, and then the drummer was not on beat. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. So anyway, he had to get the drummer on beat. I was like, you shouldn't have to tell the drummer what to do. The fact that the original Lakeside, and not trying to, talk about these people and these people, like Lakeside, the way it was back in the day before all of the separation happened. You could look at a Lakeside video and look at everybody individually in the video and just see them doing their own thing, and it made sense. I was drawn to that man because he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. I was looking sideways at the people who were supposed to be background singing because I could barely hear them. And when I could hear them, they weren't harmonizing the way they should, or the notes wasn't what they was supposed to be. And I'm like, I was going up for y'all, and this is what y'all brought. So anyway, I have the video footage of, some of the stuff, and I'll show all of this at the end. But yeah, it's a mess. It was a mess, and I was not here for it. And I'm mad because the crowd participation wasn't there, and I understand now. Like, at first, I was kind of trying to make it seem like what was happening wasn't happening, because I was y'all don't understand how excited I was to see these folks. So anyway, I digress. Anyway, he did what he did, and when they got to the last song, which was Fantastic Voyage, I got my confirmation that was indeed Stephen Shockley. I'm sorry. And the reason why I knew it was him was because Mark disappeared and he disappeared. And when they came back, they both had on the pirate outfits. Now, they are known for having on these outlandish outfits that wouldn't make sense for black people, black men, or anybody to have on if they were in these movies and stuff. So that's why I knew it was them. Everybody else was just dressed plain. And then they came out with that on. I said, oh, so the original members are the ones who have on the pirates outfits now. Okay, they're confirming it for me. So anyway, that's how it ended. And I was just like, who, child? So I'm wondering who gonna come on next. Child, EU come on next. Now, I don't know how many of y'all are into go-go music or anything like that. If y'all from the DMV and y'all live for these folks. I ain't gonna sit up here and cap. I ain't gonna sit up here and lie like I live for these folks. I don't. Back home, I heard of Sugar Bear, and Sugar Bear is the one when you hear the main song that EU is known for, which is Experience Unlimited, I think is what the EU stands for. But the song is doing the butt, ow, the dude that do that part, ow, that's Sugar Bear. Okay. Child, he got on my nerves before they even started because they came directly after them. He kept on saying, give it up for Lakeside. And we was like, okay. And then I saw everybody named Mama run up there. And I'm like, why y'all ain't get his energy to Lakeside? I'm talking about these people hadn't even started singing yet. And I'm like, why y'all ain't get his energy to them? Oh, okay, I digress. So anyway, he doing sound check for like 10 minutes straight. I was like, what are you doing a sound check for? Did nobody else get up here and test nothing? Oh, okay, let me just stop. Like, I don't know. I felt like I wasn't gonna like it anyway. So I was like, okay. So anyway, the whole time I was pretty much ignoring them. The crowd was getting their entire life. I was just like, I'm just not here for all go-go music like that. It's like very select few songs and people that I'm here for. I ain't really here for them like that. Now there was some woman that was there who did what she was doing as a part of EU. She did her thing. She was the only one I was here for that did something solo, had like a part, and she did what she did. I was here for her. But him, child, please, I ain't never been here for him. I don't know what it is. He was on somebody's record or something back home, and I heard him, and I wasn't here for him ever since then. But it is what it is. I ain't no shade. I'm just saying I'm just not. I'm not a fan. But they did some go-go music. But the thing was, it seemed like almost everything they did outside of that song was like a cover, or for the most part it was. So I was like, okay, and they had just put like a little go-go spin on it, and I was like, okay. So then, I think next was well, I can't think of the people's name. All I can think of is one of the group members. Child, hold on for a second. Full Force. I don't know why I couldn't think of their name. I only can ever think of Boleg Lou's name. That's the only person I can ever think of. Paul Anthony, fine. So the way they did the show was the MC introduced Full Force. This man did the absolute most of the entire time, the MC. But anyway, he introduced Full Force, but Paul Anthony came out by himself, right? And I was like, yes, Lord. But dang. How old is he? Because they said, I understand Luke is 60 something. Dang, he older than him. He look good for his age. My bad. Was that him? It might have been Paul. Was it B Fine or Paul Anthony? Child, that ain't no good enough picture. But all of them 60 something, it had to be Paul Anthony. It looked more like Paul Anthony. So Paul Anthony came out and he let it be known that there had been so many different situations that people tried to downplay, and it was like, oh, we ain't interested in this person, we ain't interested in that person. They were like responsible for like Lisa, Nicki Minaj, like so many like big names, Rihanna. People wasn't really trying to hear him like that. And then I was like, okay, then like he kind of gave an introduction, and then he introduced somebody. What's his name? Yellow something Fire or something. Cash Fire, or Fire Cash or something. I wasn't really here for it, but whatever. He was like, I'm trying to tell y'all, be on the lookout. That child might have been nervous. I don't know. It was some boy. And so I was like, okay. He was trying to do Candy Rain or something. He did some song. I was like, I wasn't here for that. But anyway, eventually Full Force came out. And y'all know they do how that song go? Ain't too something, baby. Where's the song at? Ain't my type of hype. I was like, what is the song? What is the lyrics? But yeah, they did that song. Everybody know that song from House Party and all that stuff or whatever. So they was getting it. But what was killing me was, what was that man named Paul Anthony? He was so nasty, and I was here for it. I was like, wait, sir, don't do this. Don't do any of this. So they had crowd participation, and they were like doing like songs that other people did or whatever. They did Every Time I Close My Eyes, I Wake Up Feeling So Horny. I was like, y'all gotta stop. First of all, they did Can You Stand the Rain. They did so many songs. I was so here for it, but he was nasty. Child, I was here for it though. But they was on beat. They was on point. All the dancing, all the singing. I was here for it. And then at one point in time, they brought out one of the members of Allure, where she did the song All Cried Out. And she did an awesome job. Still had her vocals intact. I might put a little snippet of her. But yeah, all of them look good to be 60-some years old. All of them look good. Hallelujah in the name. So then after them was the final act, I think. Yeah. And that was Lyfe Jennings. This was the hilarious part about this, y'all. Them people in the crowd said it was. So by the time he came out, it was like 10. And they mad. Them people was like legit cussing this man out from the audience. And everybody just wanted him to perform Must Be Nice. And I'm like, he has other songs. Like, I ain't gonna never try to sit up here and lie to y'all and make it seem like I know all of the Life Jennings songs that ever came out. Like, I listened to everything that wasn't on the radio too. I didn't. I ain't care really about him being there like that. I was gonna be there and watch everything like I said I was gonna do. But I knew a few of the songs, but almost everybody that went off because of the time in which he came on the stage was talking about, you need to hurry up and sing, must be nice. I'm talking about them people was really cussing him out. I was like, y'all done went off because he ain't singing Must Be Nice. And he had this thing where he like leads into what he gonna sing. So one song was called Stick Up Kid. He did that. And he did SCX. They didn't want to hear that. I was like, y'all done went off. Like, he explained. Anybody who knows what happened back then when that song got released, he explained that. And people really did try to comfort him over that song. And I was like, I was so confused back then. Like, how y'all gonna comfort him over that song? But anyway, it was true. It was real. And then people really, like, was trying to shut him down and have him canceled and some more. It was a lot. So anyway, he did SCX. He did a lot of other stuff. And so, like, them people really got upset. And before he did the last song, which he knew was supposed to be Must Be Nice, and he did it on purpose, somebody fell out. So somebody blacked out, passed out, or whatever. So that took 10 more minutes away. So he couldn't sing the last song as long. And he finally did sing Must Be Nice. And it was nice. Like, everything that he did, it led up to the next song. Like, even when he did Must Be Nice, he did a story where he was talking about, you know, the way y'all supporting me today, I hope to be able to do the same for y'all in the future. I want to do the same thing for y'all. I'm going to be in the back while y'all doing y'all thing. And I'm going to be in the back of the event or whatever situation celebrating you. And then at the end of it, I'm going to say, Must Be Nice. I was like, I know that's right. Like, everything, he had a nice little story and it led up to what he was going to sing the songs. So yeah, his vocals were there. His vocals were there. They were there. The people said it off. Some woman started hollering. Some woman started hollering when he ended up, like, I guess, touching his hand. I was like, who hollering like that? Somebody, he touched her hand and all of that. I was like, oh gosh. He was going to take pictures later on. Child, I had to get up out of there. I ain't had time for that. But I saw the whole thing. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I am going to go to some more stuff like this later on. But let me go ahead and add these little video clips. And I don't mean no kind of copyright infringement. I'm not going to be getting paid from this video. So if anybody watching this who performed at this function, please understand that I'm not trying to get no money off of this. I just want other people to experience what I experienced, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent. I thoroughly enjoyed myself at the function, despite the few hiccups that happened along the way. All right, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Hey, no matter what me wear, yo, I look better than you. If you got me on copy, cause you do what me do. Tell them this, pull up on me.
Baby, it's Saturday, baby. Oh, party and get my groove on. Get my groove on. Stay right beside me. That's what I want to see right there. There we go. I really love you. You should know. And I'm looking for somebody I can borrow $5 or $10 till tomorrow. I'll do it. And I smoked my last pack of cigarettes today. Yeah, the strange a nigga digging in the ashtray. It's a crumbling and humbling sight to see. I'm doing. And they teasing me with these 23s and these and their eyes. And they pass me by, and got the nerve to wonder I'll be what? I'm a sticker kid, that's how I live. I admit it, I'll be robbing these niggas out. See, I'm not ashamed to talk about it. No, yeah. Whoa. Is it while we're reminiscing? Christopher Reeve, still Superman. No matter where your husband days are gone. Come on. She'll be by your side, still holding on. Talk to me about the 20s.